Chapter 942, Smiley Boy Takes a Big Fall. Riparoni. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Pod-D-Cast. I'm your bookworm friend, best guy ever, and we're joined by your... What's the opposite of a bookworm? Illiterate friend, hypocrite.
I'm lost for words, as would be expected.
That's because you cannot read them,
friend.
sir. Welcome, one and all, to Chapter 942, The Daimyo of Hakumai Shimotsuki Yasuye. Cool, good,
yes.
Looks strong. Cover page, we got Mondor eating cheese and wine while reading about cheese and wine with a bunch of mice. It's a real Ratatouille situation going on here.
Yeah, Mondor obviously being French, thereby only eating cheese and wine.
How stereotypical. Dare I say racist? Oh, I dare. Oh, I dare. All right, well, that's all there's to say. Frankly, Mondor, not that interesting. I'm ready to just move to the chapter.
Yes.
So here we go. Flashback time.
Yes, we start off in the past, and this is what he looked like. This is Yasue.
Yep.
And I guess we have our answer as to why people didn't recognize him. His hair is the only thing that is the same. He looks different shape face.
And One Piece does this. I'm pretty sure it's implied that he just got shorter. But then again, I think he's still pretty large. He's just like a wide kind of guy.
Oh yeah, I don't think his height changed. It was really just his Actually, no, he does look kind of tall.
He looks taller than the other people there, by I don't know, twice as tall as some of those guys in the front. I'll really be looking for when we already saw. What's the old man that Luffy's hanging out with in the jail? Yeah, Hyogoro. When we see Hyogoro, we saw a little flashback of him. We see him now. He's like a small, old man, short old man. In the flashback, he was more muscly, but you couldn't judge his height from that. I would bet my bottom dollar he was at least twice as tall in the past. Because that's just what One Piece does, and I don't know. We'll see if that pans out. I'm excited. But anyway, in the here and now,
Hakumai, they're talking about the only legal harbor in all of Wano. So this is the place in Wano where if people leave and come, this is where it is. And if
for those who are not necessarily up on their Japanese history, this was the case in Japan for a long time. I think after Commodore Perry came in and busted open Japan with his fucking warships and shit, and they opened up one legal port where you were allowed to land and exchange goods. I think that was after Commodore Perry. I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it's true. And I forget the name of the port, but so obviously this is a parallel to that. So yes. Okay, cool,
I wanted to point out something somebody noticed or whatever. On the third panel, there's a guy going and he's got little crossed swords on his
oh my god
thing.
Okay, go on.
And that is the same design as Zoro's teacher from way back with the glasses.
That seems unlikely to be a coincidence. Unlikely.
Yeah. So somehow this is, we, theorized that Zoro's teacher came from Wano. The whole thing with him knowing about Snatch is already a bit of a thing. And this is
wait, what's Snatch?
When Momonosuke does Snatch, and then what's her face?
That phrase, that saying, or whatever it was. Yes.
And what's her name was how'd you know that? And he says, I learned it from Zoro. It's how does Zoro know this Wano technique? And it's just sort of okay,
Now,
bits and bobs here being implied and adding to the theory. It's just interesting.
I don't know if such people exist, but two people who are even more skeptical than me. Sure, it would be fair to say that this is a fairly simplistic design of just two crossed swords on either side of the gi or whatever. But even for me, I think that this probably isn't a coincidence. This seems, relatively a reasonable thing. At the very least, it could be a fashion, crossover between the guy whose descendant or his ancestors or whatever, or maybe even he came from Wano. Versus, these people who are actually in Wano right now. So cool. Cool.
It's at least, it's at least confirmation 100% guaranteed. It's at least that.
That's fair. That's fair.
But yes, we move over to, I think what was his name again? The Kappa man.
No. This isn't the Kappa man, although I forget that
I
guy's
think
name
he says
as well.
Kappa later, which is why I think that.
Okay, well, let's look into this. I'm pretty sure this is just Odin, considering this is... Yasue says to him, like, how long are you planning to stay here? You may be a ruffian, but you are still the son of the shogun. And as far as I know, there's only one of those, which is Odin, unless he had siblings that we didn't hear about.
Was Lord Odin the shogun?
Well, okay, the Kozukis were the shogunate of Wano, and Odin himself became shogun after, some time of adventuring with Gold Roger and whatnot. And then he was like killed.
No,
and
but this guy is talking
by...
about Odin. Like, have you not heard the rumors? They say after the passing of Kozuki, Sukiyaki, the one who takes over as shogun, will not be Oh, wait.
I mean, sure, I do think
Maybe
that he's
talking about
referring to himself in the third person there. But I
Okay.
mean, but we see Yasue specifically say, "You are the son of the shogun," and we know the shogun was, I mean, even he says
all
right there. The
Yeah,
guy
no,
says
you're
the
right,
current
you're right.
shogun is a Kozuki, Sukiyaki.
This is what Odin looks like, and then
Yep.
He's
He's
saying
got a tricorn hat, as far as I can tell.
He
which
was
I like.
disowned by his father apparently, and he's just like,
Which we
I don't
knew,
care.
yeah.
I want to go to fucking the sea. And Yasui is like telling him, shut the fuck up. You're supposed to be important.
Indeed. He's an adventurer at heart. I'm continuing to warm to Odin. He looks like a charismatic youth with a cool ponytail. You know what's... Okay, now, just based on the silhouette, we obviously can't see everything about him, but, like, his design looks like a 17th century, like, New England pioneer with, like, a tricorn hat and, like...
Yeah, a little bit.
A ponytail, kind of. So, I don't know. He's a real American hero, despite being from Japan, period. I mean, maybe they'll surprise us when we finally see him, but that's my impression so far. He's
So
like the Sam Adams of One Piece.
If this flashback feels like incomplete, it feels like a tease at a continuation of this flashback, perhaps coinciding with him meeting Roger and using that as an excuse to leave on a pirate ship and all that sort of stuff.
We're certainly building to that for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
But since Yasui is perhaps dead after this chapter, I don't know who will be remembering it in the future.
Well, there have certainly been flashbacks where we see things that none of the characters would actually know, but we know. And
which ones? Do you remember any?
Well, I mean, okay, here's one. How about the flashback to in Skypiea when we learn about Mont Blanc Norland and Kalgara? Like, literally no one who's alive now knows their story. Actually, you know what? I'm slightly off about that, because if I remember correctly, that story was told in the form of a legend passed down among the Shandians about, like, the but that's not, like, the kind of detail that we got, like, actually seeing the events happen. So I guess you could say it's being extrapolated. I think the main
thing
is
is,
alive
like,
right now. So this makes sense so
the
far.
point of having a flashback is to understand some living character's point of view a little more, not just
well,
to...
that's
to,
not
not
the
just
only point
to,
of a flashback.
Well, it's not the only point, but, like, it's like, it means less if it's just exposition. Like, you need to, like, come back to the present and then see how that information affects the character. I mean, Oda knows this. He does it all the time.
I couldn't agree more. That, like, the point is to inform us as the readers about modern-day events. But, like, there can be such a thing as... And I agree, this can be unsatisfying. But, like, something where we see a flashback that none of the characters who are alive are aware of the exact details of, or maybe know it all, but, like, does, in fact, inform the way that we as the viewer contextualize the things that are happening currly.
Well,
I mean,
right.
This
is
like
a side tangent point, but I just want to say, like, imagine if we do get that, like, we get some more information about how Lord Odin and Gold Roger were friends, but we come back to the present and nobody has been telling the story, and it just sort of comes back to, things as usual.
Right.
And nobody's, like, changed or, like, had a reaction to it. It would feel, like, kind of pointless to have done that flashback.
I mean, well, you say it sounds pointless. I say it's part of a huge tapestry regarding building the character of Gold Roger that has been deliberately left mysterious throughout the entirety of One Piece. I think is very deliberate. So basically, I totally agree with your point. I just don't think that necessarily Oda is like really going for, like, total information about, Rod. I think specifically because we know that this guy who we're going to get a flashback with this arc, almost guaranteed, has such close ties to Roger. I think it's very unlikely we get a lot of information given to us because Oda has tried to keep Gold Roger so mysterious. But the counterpoint to that is we are getting into deep endgame One Piece now, so maybe it's the time to dive into it more. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It all depends on the way it's handled.
I think the one and only time we're gonna get like a full Gold Roger flashback is when we finally find out why Im-sama has like a straw hat in his cold castle in Marie-Joie. Like, what the hell?
I suppose.
Like, what's
the only
the
thing
deal
about
with that?
Yeah, that'll be fine. I'll just say that the introduction of Im as probably like the actual real final boss, like Blackbeard is like a guy who, is just, he wants to pursue power. Maybe he knows more about the ancient history. Maybe he wants to literally take over the world or something. But basically he's just like a big, crazy, fighty man. Im is like a control man. He seems to be like, holding all the puppet strings of the entire world in his hands. So that guy seems like kind of the real final boss of One Piece. And for Gold Roger to be too... Like, I like Gold Roger as just like the most... Like Luffy said, Gold Roger was Pirate King because he was the most free. That's what really matters. I care so little by comparison about Gold Roger or Luffy's potential involvement in some great epic world-changing destiny bullshit. I just want to see Nibbas be free. So I just hope that they stick to that. That's all.
I feel like, I may have said this before on the show, but like I feel like Blackbeard amassing so much power may be because he wants to take down the world government and like Luffy would probably not care too much about pursuing that as a goal. Yeah, and so that will be like Blackbeard versus Im.
Until Blackbeard gets in his way specifically, for some reason.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. That's Oda's MO, Luffy's MO all the time, so... Yeah, I'm with you.
Alright, so we go back to the present where Mr. Yasue Daimyo Balabalu Ibadingro is crucified currently on the thing. Everyone's screaming, "Oh no! We're so glad that you survived, but you're gonna die."
Indeed.
And then he goes into a lot of pranks, bro. He says a lot of things. Starting with the fact that he wasn't the witching hour boy, and I was just like, haha, it's not even me.
Is that true? I think... Okay, this begins a long several-page series of, like, things that he says that we, like, have not seen, and really, at this point, are getting a bunch of conflicting information about, so it's kind of hard to know exactly what's true. Apparently, like, he was stealing things last night, but he's not the witching hour boy, because, I mean, he was doing things at a different time. By the way, the witching hour is a very specific... It's like a colloquialism for, like, a specific time of night or whatever. And he was not stealing at that exact hour. It was, like, a different hour. So, confirmed, not witching hour boy, I guess. I guess I'll just accept that as true, that he's not the witching hour boy.
The thing that I'm not sure about is, like... If he's not the witching hour boy, why would he lie about it? Is it because...
he says to get attention.
Yeah, but like... Well, I suppose that would have been... that's a fair enough thing. But like, if he's not the witching hour boy, and presumably he wants to protect the witching hour boy, why would he lie and say, the witching hour boy's still out there, continue searching for the real criminal so that you can catch him and stop him giving to the poor? Like, it just seems like a bad idea.
Does he really say all that?
Well, that's what's going to happen. Like, if the witching hour boy is still out there and he's still giving to the poor...
that's an excellent question. Why would he say continue the search when he could do the good of still claiming to be the witching hour boy, dying, and then they'll be like, oh, problem solved.
Because like, looking. He already drew the attention by saying he was the witching hour boy. He doesn't need to say, and it was a lie. It's like, why would you do that?
Well, okay, here's one bad reason, because he does say, like, hey guys, I apologize for lying, I'm not the hero that you think I am. Maybe he feels guilty about pretending to be a hero? Like, that's a shitty reason to say this, but I guess it's a possible reason? I don't know.
Or he could be double lying, and
see, that's the thing.
He is the witching hour boy, and he says... that he's not. I don't see the purpose of that either.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm suspicious of everything he's saying right now, for sure.
So, he's saying, haha, I lied, I'm sorry, everybody. People are crying. And then Drake gets informed that the residents of Ebisu Town have invaded.
Yep.
I'm a little skeptical, like the flower capital, like these old, decrepit, starving people who can't stop smiling, somehow managed to get past the guards.
Well, I mean, the flower capital, I don't think has like huge like closed gates that only opens when like, you know, authorized people come through. I think it's more like the gate, you know, the pathway's open, but like if they catch you, they'll throw you out or something. And when like the entire town rushes in, you know, the guards get a little overwhelmed and they just kind of let them run through. And they'll take care of them in time.
It just feels like if, you know, if the flower capital has all the food and everyone's starving to death, they would have to deal with people trying to get in all the time, and you know.
But dealing with one person is very simple. One starving person in like, I don't know, every hour, every day. But having like, I don't know, maybe like 100 people at once, you know, I'm just saying that could be kind of overwhelming.
I suppose
and
it's
just
sort of like I feel like I need some explanation as to how they did that. It just seems to be running past them, and they're like, "Whoa, old people!"
They learned from their leader, Sanic the Hedgehog, and went real fast.
Maybe that's it. Maybe they're just really fast.
These old fucks who are literally dying. And they're saying, like, we can't let Yasu die if he dies. Now, this sounds selfish. They're like, if he dies, we won't be able to survive. I mean, guys, can't you prioritize that, like, he's about to be executed? I mean, okay, I get it. I get it. There's a lot going on
I think
here.
it might be more than... like
they're saying like he's so meaningful to them. He's so important.
Yeah, that he's like I can't go on living without this perfect man in my life. It's just sort
I'm just saying, okay, if by this logic, if the Shogun will just give you guys food, then it's like, oh, okay, that's fine. Go ahead, execute him.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, obviously not, but whatever.
So there's Toko running as well.
Oh,
and
Toko. Yep.
Yeah, he's drawing away attention from Kumurasaki's funeral. Which I think may be important later when that happens.
My guess, this is just a guess, that he is strategically using the quote-unquote funeral for Komurasaki. Like, this is why he chose to, like, steal things the night before and get caught and, have his execution be on the same day. I suspect it was to draw attention as a way to, achieve a bunch of political things that we'll get to in a little bit. But that's just my guess. I mean, maybe there'll be more. This is kind of complicated.
He starts saying his death speech, his Goldie Roger One Piece sort of thing.
Yep.
And he's saying, look at this wonderful country, all this cool shit. The hands of the Kozuki family, the people who have been demonized for 20 years. They're the cool guys. And Orochi is an idiot, and he sucks. And, all that sort of... that funny stuff.
Oh, people are like, uh-oh,
he calls him a
here
pest.
we go.
And then, Orochi's on his little moving house with people
that's
carrying
called a palanquin. It's called a palanquin.
Pangolin, gondola. And he goes on, and he's going to get ready to shoot him. And then he goes to say, Yasui says he's this little picture that has been the signal for the revolution. He just says, I made it up. That was fake. It wasn't real, and I created it, and it was just a little prank, bro. And everyone goes, Nani?
This is... Okay, so this is the part I'm a little confused on, or really as to just like the logic of how this information is meant to be received. It seems to me that what he's doing, and we'll elaborate on as he goes, is he's attempting to, like undercut the amount of seriousness. Like, we already know that we've seen that the Shogun's, like, worries about this revolution and stuff. People are skeptical of it, and people think that he's kind of overly scared and a coward and stuff. It seems like our boy, Hedgehog Man, is playing into that and trying to say that this all was just a joke. Like, I made this thing up, and don't take it that seriously, you guys. There's no revolution, I swear. It's just something that I did as my little revenge, my petty little revenge or whatever. But what I don't understand is, so we do see that this guy says that, like, he did attempt to lead a revolution against Orochi, like 20 years ago or whatever, like with the army of the Kozuki that they had at the time, and he lost, and, Orochi took power and whatnot. But, I mean, it sounds like he was, in fact, I think he's saying here, he did cop to attempting to, like, foment resistance against the Shogun, which is exactly what the Shogun is like scared of and doesn't want to happen. But the way he's framing it is like, oh yeah, I did this exact thing that you're scared of me doing, but like it's not that big a deal. So you're overly scared of nothing. But it's like exactly what the guy is scared of, and like it is being spread throughout the capital. Well, I feel like what Oda is trying to do right now is give us a hard reset on like, okay, we've seen that like, the Law's crew was captured, other conspirators were captured. They found out about the conspiracy, they found the little papers and whatnot, and so they know that a conspiracy is up. And this is Oda's way to write the story to like clear the guilt and like clear the bad guy's suspicion that anything bad is happening, that there's like an actual revolution underway. But it seems that in doing so, like our boy here, Yasu, is validating that was in fact happening. It just wasn't as big a deal as he thought.
No, I think the thing is not that the only thing he's validating is that back in the day, Orochi, because he was a lord and stuff, told him, bow before me and live, and he's just basically giving backstory. Like, I once tried to fight against him, but Kaido was so unbelievably powerful that we all were destroyed. And I couldn't bear the idea of him getting away with that and me dying lonely and alone, like living in hiding and stuff. I couldn't bear that, so I made this up to scare him, and it worked. So what he's doing is downplaying the actual revolution by making it out to be a prank, and also instilling in the soldiers, the people under Orochi, the idea that Orochi is like playing into his hands and being a fool for believing this stupid prank, and that he's a scaredy cat coward.
Okay, hang on a sec.
Gets so hung up on these rumors that he fell for my epic prank, bro. And he's just sort of sowing the seeds of insubordination, I suppose.
Yes, yeah, that definitely seems to be what's being intended here. But here's my question. So Yasu, okay, like I'm reading a bubble here that's informative to me. He's saying that like, I invented this design and I spread it around. So we all agree, we, the Shogun, Yasu, like this paper was spread around, and like Yasu did this as a way to, I don't know, like spook the Shogun? Is that fair to say?
Well, I don't know whether he's telling the truth about that either.
Well, okay, but like his story right now is what I'm wondering about. His story right now is that he spread the mark around. He spread like the papers with the crane standing over the snake.
Yeah.
Like to spook Orochi specifically. Is that fair to say so far?
To spook Orochi.
Yeah, like what was the point? We know the papers are around. Everyone knows they're around. Like what was their purpose?
Well, their purpose was to
according to him now, I mean.
I'm trying to think, like, if this is a trick question.
I'm just trying to understand what he's saying.
It looks like he's just saying that, he said, like, after 20 years, the Kosuke name died off. We no longer had the military power to exact revenge. Burdened with the Kosuke's family's resentments and regrets, I created it. It was all a prank. So, yeah, it's not really clear whether he made it so that it would be clearly seen and understood to be a revolutionary thing. Because it doesn't mean anything necessarily.
I mean, that seems to be what he's claiming. Okay, but the box here that I noticed was, okay, so he says like, blah, 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 Orochi was a coward when he saw my prank card, and he ordered, because he's such a coward piece of shit, that Orochi, he ordered the arrest of all people with a mark of the crescent moon. And that mark, you should know, has nothing to do with any revolution or any possible revolutionary desires or anything. It's simply an old design that has no relationship to this revolution. Now, we know that is not true. We know that is a lie. But what Yasu is saying is that he is telling a lie to get people to, think that Orochi is far more scared and cowardly, playing into what we've previously heard people think about him. And saying that the crescent moon, not at all related to this. Yasu made this whole thing up. It has no basis with anybody else. It's just a mark that people liked, and it was like popular in the past. And my question is, We see the guards reacting, and like we're getting a shot where everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's true." Here's my question: why do they believe Yasu when he's been captured? He's a known. He was a vassal, or whatever it's called, of Odin. And if anyone was going to lead a revolution, it would be this guy. So, like, why are they just taking the enemy at his word that, like, no, for real, guys, there is no revolution? Why would they believe him?
That's the thing that's confusing me as well. Like, they believe it, but why would they? The only reason I can think of is that people already doubt Orochi because people laugh behind his back about the fact that he's, thinks this revolution is happening.
I think it's all hinged on that point. That's why his guards and whatever are so quick to believe this, because it just makes sense with their understanding of Orochi. And that's fine. That more or less makes sense, but it feels a little insubstantial, I guess. Like, I'd like there to be a bit more of a... Like, they're straight up taking the word of the enemy, which strikes me as an odd thing to do in most situations. So these guards must be really shitty, and Orochi must be, like, really cowardly, and everybody really thinks he's a piece of shit. I guess they do.
Lending credence to this idea that Orochi isn't well liked.
Yeah.
But I don't really know if there's enough evidence to suggest that everyone thinks that. It's mostly just the people who are starving don't like him, and like the normal people in the flower capital seem to be fine.
But even his own soldiers, are like his soldiers, the people who would likely, be more inclined to be loyal unless they really hate him for some reason. Like, they're the ones who are doubting.
I haven't gotten a reason yet that explicitly explains that his own men don't like Orochi. Like, that hasn't really come up yet.
I mean, we did see, like, the lords laughing at him during that meal or whatever, so, like, even the people close to him snicker at him and stuff. But like, all I'm saying is, if Oda... I think... here's my minor critique. I think Oda should have done two things to sell this point better. One, in this moment, he should be more upselling, like, strong reasons why people don't... Or, like, why they are willing to believe this guy. I know that everybody likes him, and he was really honorable, but he is the enemy. So, like, there should be more done, I think, to make it clear that, I don't know, Yasu has a valid point here. Because I feel that this whole... He's just saying that, no, this tattoo that you believe, it's actually not that at all. Please believe me. And the other thing is, he should have emphasized more how Odin is mistrusted in a big way. And I think he could have done a lot more to that. I don't want to nitpick him too much, because Oda did lay the foundation for this. But I just feel it's, like, a little bit less than I would have liked. But now that I don't know, I think we understand, like, the basic logic at work here. It works technically, just feels a little, I don't know, a little flimsy is all.
Yeah. So, like, he insults Orochi, who is now in shooting range.
Well, I like Orochi riding on top of the palanquin. It looks cool. It looks sick.
Yeah.
I bet he thinks so, too. He's probably like, it looks so cool right now on top of my palanquin. This is why I'm the shogun.
And then we get a little aside to Big Mom on the crocodile. I thought she was closer to the prison. Like, she was there, she was going towards it in the distance during the night, and it's now the daytime. Like, I feel like you can... Unless it's, like, gigantic, that prison.
Well, hey, here's a question. We could check the map for exact details on this, and we don't know the exact time frame, I guess. But we see that Big Mom's been riding this crocodile, like, all night to get to this jail that was, like, one district away. And I just want to say that we'll see in a page or two, Toko ran on foot all the way from Ringo, like, another district of Wano, to the flower capital in shorter time, way shorter time, than Big Mom has been riding this fucking crocodile to get to the jail. So, I'm just saying, what's going on with her? She's so
Game
fucking
of Thrones?
fast. She is the daughter of the hedgehog, so I guess that gives you super speed.
Oh, what?
Okay, good. Got it.
So yeah, he's saying in his mind, like, yes, this is my attempt to reset things. Now people won't believe that there's a revolution, and you guys who are doing the revolution can continue in peace. This is my sacrifice. Farewell, boyos.
He literally says, I thought this was kind of an on the nose to say literally, cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. I thought that was a little bit much, but...
No, I liked it.
Yeah, okay.
I printed it and put it on my wall. The bottom of this page, in fact, there's Toko running.
Oh, yep, there she is.
And Zoro and Brook and Hiyori
Hiyori,
are here.
Yep.
and then he does his cry face. He's
And
like,
then he breaks out into song. Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort.
with a little music note underneath.
Yeah, that's the song. That's the song.
Let us all sing together.
Hesitation, got no feeling. Don't give a fuck if I cut my arm bleeding. They're all singing that song.
The whole crowd.
Oh, they're way into it in Wano. Okay, there's
Yeah.
Otoko running. Everyone's sad. And then, the bullets
Orochi
fly.
gets his shotgun out.
Bang, 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 bang.
Bang,
Oof.
bang, bang, dead. Well,
Everybody shoots this guy. This is one of the more visceral panels, kind of in all of One Piece, honestly. I mean, hey, we might be surprised, but this straight up is a man dying, like right before our eyes. Via bullets. It's kind of up there with like Whitebeard being stabbed and shot by like a million people at once.
Yeah,
by the
but it's
Blackbeard
different
crew.
because this guy hasn't shown that he's like strong or anything. He seems like
Yeah.
a normal person almost.
This is a kind of a shitty point, but like it just in comparison to Whitebeard, like because this is One Piece, it almost feels a little underwhelming when a man dies from a mere several bullets to the torso, head, and body. But like I get it, this guy, you got to reset your expectations based on the character.
There's always been that feeling that like bullets mean not that much.
Yes.
But
yeah.
I don't know why. I feel like Oda makes it work, and I'm not sure how he does it. But like when there's a bunch of guns pointed at someone, it feels like they're captured unless they're Luffy, in which case that he's not captured, he's
so
fine.
he'll be good. Yeah.
But like it's just like you point a gun at like Zoro in the head, like I'm not sure he's gonna be fine.
Couldn't he
He
just
could
like
probably- he
hockey
could
it up,
probably-
deflect a bullet with that?
I mean, I don't know, but like
Yeah, I don't know.
it somehow works. I think it's because he's consistently had people with guns throughout the story, and he hasn't like thought of like some stupid reason why there's a new type of gun in the new world with ultra bullets. I mean, he did for that
There is
one
the
thing in Whole
Kairoseki
Cake.
bullets or whatever.
I don't know whether they had Kairoseki bullets.
I mean, those are just for devil fruit guys. They're not like probably more effective against some hedgehog human boy.
But like it's, I don't know.
Well,
I'm
okay,
curious
but
to understand why I think that works in One Piece, despite the obvious problems that would come up with so many strong people.
This scene is effective, and I do like it. However, I can't help but think back to my favorite arc, Dressrosa, when Doflamingo had Law on the ground and literally shot him like in the gut like maybe more times. I have to go check the panel, and Law just completely shrugged it off.
It's okay.
know how.
He moved his like organs out of the way with his Doctor Fruit. You go.
He was no.
He did that sort of like belly dancer thing where he shook his hips from left to right to dodge the bullets.
Yeah. Big belly dancer, that Law. That was pretty bullshit. This is not bullshit. Like it's just that because that scene was bullshit, it makes me be like, well, I bet this is bullshit too. But I mean, no, this man, a lot of blood. It looks like a bullet in the head too. So he looks all done.
There's a lot of like you don't see the body like close up. I mean, I guess you never would.
We see it drop to the ground.
With a wound.
Yeah.
But all right, Pedro, right?
Yeah. Still alive.
Still alive, you say? I
sure.
feel like at this point. Well, all right. I will say
dead.
there's a possibility that Pedro's alive merely because we don't know what happened at the end of, when the Sun Pirates let the Straw Hats escape. So there's that time period where anything could happen, but I feel like it's more likely now that Pedro might have died.
I mean, I straight up think he's dead. I think that's like 90% likely, personally.
Pedro, you say?
Yeah, Pedro, Explodey Cheetah Man.
Yeah, okay. So it's this is the part. Getting to the part. I mean, we're in the part now where people who die, and it's not. It's no longer.
Yeah.
What's his name? Pell. It's no longer there.
Pell time. I think if Oda was writing Alabasta today, I think he would kill Pell. Because honestly, Pell surviving means nothing. Pell has had zero impact on the plot after that moment. It's just, I guess, kind of nice to have him around. Yay, he's not dead. But that's so much weaker than, like, a true heroic death sacrifice. So, lame. I think Oda has matured a little bit.
You know, I can't be sure that it's Oda that's matured and not like the editors that have like
I'm
allowed
putting this
Oda
on
to do
Oda.
stuff
Fuck
like this.
the editors. They don't do anything.
I feel like they may have, like, because One Piece is like a children's manga. You can't show,
Shonen Jump is some dark shit sometimes.
I mean, yeah.
One Piece
I
too.
mean, there's no reason for me to believe that. I just feel like Oda
Yeah, okay.
wouldn't, like... Maybe he'd regret it. Maybe he thought of the idea.
I'm
In
sure
any
there's some
case-
things in One Piece that Oda would change. Like, right, I'm not even saying it'd necessarily be better, but like, artists change,
Yeah.
and
In any case, now deaths are, like, pretty cool. I like the fact that deaths are real.
yeah, they should be in the story. Makes sense. High stakes.
Except Kimurasaki, who is definitely alive.
She seems alive, and Hiyori, but we'll, I don't know. I'm sure we'll get into that, how that happened in time. But, okay, so here we go, people. So this is an odd choice. We've got the crowd of all the beloved people who loved this lord. They thought he was a real cool guy. They loved him as, the wonderful smiling man of Ebisu Town who helped them out and gave them food and whatnot. They don't cry. They're all laughing. They're all laughing uproariously with tears in their eyes, not seemingly like, well, there's probably a dual meaning to the tears, but they're laughing. They are not weeping. They are laughing. And so who's that? That Zoro is like, hey, what the fuck? Why are you laughing? This is not funny. And even Otoko, his own daughter,
There she is.
Daddy
she's
died.
doing the thing. She's
Ha,
doing
ha,
the
ha.
she's doing
Wow.
the oh my god no thing where she's crying and laughing. She can't help it. It's so
well,
sad.
okay, so this is rather interesting. Things took an interesting twist just now.
Yeah.
So we see Komurasaki come to Zoro. Zoro's pissed, and she's like, no, stop. You don't understand. These people have been robbed of their ability to show any emotions except to smile. All they can do is laugh because of Kaido and Orochi, who brought to this country the fruit known as smile. And this is interesting because I had no idea. So this actually does a lot of things. So we've got a bunch to talk about here. So
first of all,
go
the
ahead.
whole like smile, devil fruits, and the sad factory.
Yep.
Those
SAD,
words didn't mean
SAD sad.
like
genius.
those words did not mean nothing.
Correct. They meant
actually,
0 up to this point. Yep.
They actually have an emotional weight, literally.
Man, it's hard to imagine, but it's been like I have to check, but I think it's been like 7 or 8 years since we like got to Punk Hazard and learned about SAD and heard about smiles and whatnot. And so like God, I mean, we'll learn as the chapters go on exactly what this means, but it seems like there's been like implications of the names of those things all along, and man, what the fuck does it mean? I don't know. But clearly, emotions are involved.
The things we have to can glean from this is the people who are laughing are only the residents of Ebisu Town.
Indeed.
So
is
whatever
interesting.
happened to that town is a result of the fruit known as smile. Now we know also that the smile devil fruits, I think, are like they're the ones that like half animal stuff.
That's right.
And Kaido has those made for him artificially. I don't know anything else. I can't really put anything else together.
We don't know anything else. That's all we know.
All we know, there are lots of factories in Wano at the moment.
Yep.
They're doing something. We know there's weapon factories at least. I'm sure. Was it in Dressrosa that the devil fruits were being made?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sure if it's been stated that they're like making smiles in Wano specifically, but they definitely had a smile factory in Dressrosa where smiles, they used SAD made in Punk Hazard. They turned them into smiles, as I understand it, at Dressrosa, and then they shipped them out to places like Wano for Kaido's troops and probably other people too.
Yeah. So, what does it mean to have like the fruit known as smile, like a singular fruit? Is there a devil fruit person in Kaido's
That is the
crew?
question right there, dude. So like to this day, we learned that there would be these big SAD tanks in Punk Hazard. We have no idea what that substance was. It appeared to be some liquid, and like how it was made, what it does, we have no idea. What's its relationship to making artificial devil fruits? We have no idea and never have. As in terms of how the smiles themselves are made, we have no idea how those are made or what's their function or anything that goes into them. But like Is this implying the way that she says the fruit, singular, known as smile? Now, that could be like a pluralization, and maybe it might be even worth checking Manga Stream, which I am actually going to do
check
right
right
now. Let me fucking go over there. Because if they continue the singular, I don't know, phraseology or whatever, conjugation, whatever, for that word, then that could be informative as to, like, maybe there's implications. No. Oh, okay, it says fruits. It says fruits in Manga Stream. Okay, never mind. I was going to say, could it possibly be that there's, like, one sort of alpha devil fruit called Smile that's involved in this process that, like, Vegapunk, excuse me, and Caesar Clown were, like, using in some way to, you know, generate this other stuff? And I don't know, maybe that's still true. Excuse me. But clearly it appears that making smiles costs civilians in some way their emotions, except for the ability to smile. So what could that mean? What could this mean? I suspect, personally, devil fruit shenanigans. This is my guess right now.
Well, yes. I mean,
what else would it
devil
be?
Fruits. Yeah, I'm thinking if it's, you know, we get these smile things, you would imagine that, like, to get a smile fruit, you would need to rob someone of their smile. So the fact that these people have nothing but their smiles is like the opposite of what you would imagine. I'm not really sure.
Well, maybe you rob them from everything but their smile. So you're robbing their SAD, their sad, and then you're using that in the process. Sorry, I've got something in my throat. Oh, I'm sad. I'm choking up because I'm sad that this guy died.
And I'm smiling all about it.
Oh, yes. Very smiling. Man, I don't know. There's just too much to speculate on. We need more information in a big way.
It's a big vague bomb. Like,
sure
what does this mean?
You know, also, by the way, Komurasaki is right here at her funeral. I mean, Hiyori. Probably Komurasaki, but we don't know. God damn it! I got like a little scratchy thing in my throat. Oh, God.
Oh. He. I laugh.
Ugh. Okay, I'll power through. Yeah, I don't know. I hope Komurasaki doesn't get spotted, or maybe she will. She's like right here.
Yeah, and that's definitely the thing that's going to happen next. Is
you
like
think so?
He's dead, and then Komurasaki's funeral is going to be the next event that is to be you know, seen.
And now that she's here again, there can be
and
she
it's
can be
gonna
involved.
be like, whew, lad. Like, I'm thinking like Zoro, Otoko, and Hiyori Komurasaki are now and Brooke are now right here.
Yep.
So whatever happened may involve them, perhaps getting
probably.
caught, or whatever.
At the very least, I want Komurasaki or Hiyori, whatever, to tell me more about the smiles. What do you know, sister?
Yeah.
Tell me.
God, there's so many fucking threads, so many things that could happen. You know, we got Sanji and Nami and stuff, and going to rescue Law and the guys, or Law's going to rescue them, and Sanji's probably looking for them as well. We got
Wait a
Luffy
minute. Weren't they being held literally here? This is the prisoner showcase.
I
think they're literally here.
All right, Zoro bust them out.
Law will probably show up. Yeah, like very, very soon.
They'll bust a rhyme.
Oh, by the way, I did have one.
We've also got like this. We haven't seen the reactions of all the people who have seen him just say this, including Luffy and Hyogoro in the prison. There's just so many things. I like One Piece. There's so many. It's fucking.
It's
every
pretty
scene
good.
is so dense. Every chapter is so dense. There's so many things going on.
Yep. Although I have one minor criticism. So the thing about Otoko, this again, you know, this isn't even really criticism. It's just a reality of what's happened with the way the plot has gone. Both of us thought it was really funny and like a cool character quirk that Otoko like laughed all the time and never frowned or anything. I'm just saying, like, if that turns out to be, you know, because of, like, devil fruit shenanigans, like, I won't even be that upset, but I'll be like, nah, it's too bad that, like, that isn't her character, because that was pretty funny, but,
I mean,
it serves the same purpose.
It was already kind of like a village quirk.
Yeah, that's
where
true.
everybody sort of laughed all the time, even though they were starving, they would be smiling.
Hey, here's a
question. It was just Otoko was, like, funnier because she was more, you know, making, like, actual jokes with that.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, with Tonoyasu himself, by the way, so, like, he was smiling, and he died smiling, and we were like, what a cool guy, died smiling. Did he actually not have a choice? and just like can only smile because of this whole situation he's in.
Perhaps he.
So
couldn't.
I'm just saying.
I saw
maybe,
tears rolling down his face, and he couldn't help but smile about it.
Yeah, with the tears rolling down, like Ace died and he smiled right as he was dying. Luffy smiled as he was about to be executed. This is a D thing. We all know this. And all I'm saying is that that's kind of like a badge of honor we give to really cool characters. And all I'm saying is I want to know if this guy deserves it because he's that cool of a guy, or if he was like forced to because of
I can definitely tell that he's cool enough.
He's
of
a cool guy though, for sure.
Because of the sacrifice he's making to make sure that the revolution can continue.
He's a hero, no doubt about it.
So yeah, I think he deserves to smile and die, but it could just be that he can't help it.
Yeah,
I
just want to know for my lore.
I guess that muddies the waters a little bit. Like it would be really strange and oh no, for a character to smile when something sad is happening and they're crying.
Indeed. We don't want to spread too much.
I guess it's like a different thing when it's a little girl doing it though. It's purely sad and oh no.
I mean, it makes me feel pretty fucked up that she's laughing at her dad's death. It's not her fault, obviously. I'm not blaming her, but it's.
Now I'm thinking of her her raised upper lip, the corners of her mouth.
Yeah.
Being what Joker, like the Jack Nicholson Joker. Have you ever seen that guy?
I was just thinking of the Heath Ledger. You wonder how I got these scars. This is Otoko. But yeah, I've seen the Jack Nicholson one with his weird, fucked up mouth.
Yeah, he's got weird things stuck in his cheeks to make his mouth strange shape.
That must have been uncomfortable. Well, I guess that's all there is to say. Lots more to come. More information and more fun.
Yeah.
This is rather emotionally taxing, exhausting, and just a lot of information and a lot of misdirection going on.
It was very not as a bad thing necessarily, but one note, a big moment from beginning to end of the chapter.
Yeah, it's true.
Very epic.
That's for sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
It's going to be on break next week, unfortunately.
Oh, that's right. So, you won't hear from us next week, but afterward, we'll be back, and we'll be with you, chilling like a villain. Thanks for listening, as always. Patreon.com/thepodcastpirates to support our show. We'd very much appreciate it. Join the crew. Don't be a lowly white degenerate. Those people deserve only death, but you can still become one by clicking down below and joining the Discord where we talk about One Piece. It's the most active Discord about One Piece that I've ever cast my gaze upon.
It's the most active Discord on the planet.
That's a lie. But anyway, give us money on Patreon. Appreciate that very much. And stick around. We'll see you in around 2 weeks or so. All right. Have a good day.
Hey.
Have a good night. Bye.
Goodbye. Yo ho ho and a bottle of see you later.